Hey, welcome back. Today's video is about the Ricoh GR4 because it just got released a couple days ago from Ricoh and it's the latest hype. Everyone's all freaking out about it. But today's video is about that camera and the GR system in general and why I will not be buying the GR4. If you don't know much about the camera, it is the most compact camera that you can find that somehow has an APS-C sensor or mirrorless size sensor into it. It's just below a full frame sensor, and how they did that, I have no idea. The reason why I won't be picking up a GR4 is I already have a Ricoh GR, and specifically which one that is I'll get to in a minute, but let's go through the GR4, just a couple of high-level things of what they did to improve upon an awesome system already. So what they've added is a higher resolution sensor. They've upgraded the processor to handle better autofocusing. The sensor and with the processor handles better ISO and low light sensitivity. They also improved the battery capacity. Not that that was a problem for me, and I've been shooting with this camera for a few years now. They've also kept all the other awesome features that they already had on it, such as double exposure setting. The snap to focus is probably the biggest thing for me about this camera. I'll get to that in just a minute as well. The GR4, they said that they've redesigned the lens, which kind of, I don't know, I'm actually not that excited about it. That's another reason why I don't think I'll be jumping into it anytime soon. From what I understand is that the original GR, which that lens was kept through the GR3, that original lens design was actually a Leica lens design that they used. 2.8 isn't super fast, but the thing just like pops out. That's all you get. It's a small little lens, and I find that pretty impressive. Now the GR4, they said, has a more compact lens. I don't know, this is pretty compact. I don't really need much more than that. I find that interesting because I really like how this lens renders. Yeah, so we'll see. When I first got into the GR system, the camera I bought was the GR3, and it was more readily available. I couldn't find a GR2, even though that's what was recommended to me. I shot with the GR3 for some time. I've taken it on trips. It's gone everywhere with me. I'd love to show you some photos from that, and you won't believe what this camera can do. So what was cool about the GR3 is that the processor, the camera was improved upon the GR2. It was a little bit faster. The autofocus is faster in good light, although the GR2 did better in low light focusing, I noticed. So now the GR4, they pushed a little bit more resolution out of it, right? They're doing a 25 plus megapixel sensor, but I want to show you some images just to give you an idea of like what the GR3 can do. I mean, look at that size. This thing is huge. Next to my face. Here's my face, there's some horses. Let's check out this one. This was made with the GR3. I think this thing really grabs colors pretty darn well. That's one thing that I really like about these cameras. So here's one, I love this shot too. Barrel racing at a rodeo, high school rodeo. The GR3 really got me in. I was totally hooked. GR2 was really hard to find, and I was like, why would I buy a 16 megapixel older camera that is a little bit slower? It's actually slightly larger or longer than the GR3, and I was like, what? I don't know, why would I do that? Well, I did. I sold the GR3 because I loved the camera so much, and then I'd heard so much about the GR2 that this is what I shoot with now. This thing fires up in the fraction of a second, just the same as the GR3. It is a little bit slower on just a couple of things. The buttons and the way the camera handles, like the exposure adjustment and how the wheel works on the back is a little bit different. I actually prefer it on the GR2. It's easier than the GR3. The GR3 was known to have an issue with the dial. It can get stuck. Why did I get the GR2? It's for the sensor more than anything. It's the same lens as the GR3, but the sensor is a 16 megapixel CMOS sensor, and the pixel pitch is less. It's the same size sensor across all of these cameras I've just discussed, but with less resolution, you have less of a pixel pitch. And the way the sensor resolves and the way it is seeing color in the GR2 is the reason why I went for this camera. And it is absolutely spectacular. It just looks like film. I shoot this camera mostly on JPEG just for its results. There are times that I have gotten something slightly better from a raw image and editing in post, but with the GR2 and working with the white balance setting, that is the biggest thing that the GR2 has over the 3, and I suspect it will be out of the GR4 as well, is the 16 megapixel sensor that came in the 2. The color science, the way it looks, it's like you're shooting film. It feels like it. So I talked about the snap to focus. It's unlike, I haven't seen this on any other point and shoot camera. Sometimes the autofocus will be just kind of hunting, especially if it's in low light, or it just doesn't grab or snap to a focus that you need fast enough to make something happen. Although these are crazy fast. I can literally see something coming by in the car, fire up this camera, and by the time my arm is reached out the window and I've pressed halfway down, it's found focus and I can snap the shot all in a fraction of a second. It's that quick. So with autofocus, right, you push down halfway in your shutter, and however the focus is set, it's going to pull focus to that. And then once it's composed, you can press down and it fires the shot. When it can't find focus, it hunts, especially in low light, that kind of thing, or it grabs focus on the wrong thing. With snap to focus, it turns this camera almost into like a zone focusing or manual focus camera, where it will, by smashing down, you smash down on the shutter, and it just bypasses the autofocus feature, and it will snap to a predetermined distance on the camera. So what's that look like? Well, when I'm in the car, half the time I set this to infinity. So my snap to focus is infinity. I'm usually far away from the subject, and I can just rip the camera out and smash down on the shutter, and it grabs infinity, and I get the shot that I want. When I'm at a concert or working with my daughters, or like really close pictures of my family, I set the snap to focus to 1 meter or sometimes 1.5 meters. If I'm doing street photography, which I do a lot with this camera, I set my snap to focus at like 1.5 to sometimes 2 meters. So I can just pull this out of my pocket, even very discreetly, fire it up and smash down on the shutter. It goes exactly to that preset distance and fires, which is really cool. So there's one function button on the GR2 on the wheel, and I have that function button set to snap to focus distance. The last thing I'll mention about the GR2, which makes it kind of fun, is the camera has a built-in flash. And this is really fun. I'm going to show you a couple pictures now of what you can do with this built-in flash. There are advanced settings in working with this in this camera. This camera can do composites. Like I said, it can do multiple exposures. The way it shows you how the multiple exposures overlay over the next image you're about to compose is brilliant. It's so easy to work with. All right, so what would compel me to pick up a GR4? I don't know, like weather sealing. Maybe if they had the built-in flash like the GR2, maybe they'll put that into a GR5 or something like that. That would be cool. But in the meantime, I like to shoot with this camera because it looks like film. It's got the built-in flash, and it basically has all the features that you're seeing in the GR4. So there you have it. That's why I'm gonna stick with the GR2 for now. It's that good. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm just curious, have you shot with a GR before? And which one is it? Do you still have one? Is it the GR2 or the GR3? And would you pick up a GR4? I'm also curious, would you be interested in me going into a more in-depth video about using the GR system and how you can get the most out of this camera? All right, until next time, there's no rangefinder, I'm just kidding. Stay curious, keep clicking.